It's time to put your costume on and listen to the Long Con.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to the Long Con Podcast. Episode
That went so well for you to hold the laughter.
where we talk conventions, cosplay, and other facets of geek culture. My name is Kevin Bly, and we are going to get this show on the road. Dog gang gummit.
123 skidoo out of here.
23 skidoo.
Jibbity Flibbins.
Yes. With me today is Nick Kelly.
That's me.
Mm-hmm.
Also known as Garfield. I hate Mondays.
And there's Dale Kerner, who is wearing a shirt I've never seen him wear before, so it's kind of weird for me.
It's been the subject of much debate.
Yes, exactly.
Dale, what is the pattern on that shirt?
What's a what?
What is the pattern on that shirt? Is it like camouflage?
Green. It's green.
Is it a specific pattern?
It's just a green shirt, Kevin.
It's got like bamboo.
Okay,
at the bottom.
There's scenic. It's a pattern.
It's just white and green, but I mean, at the bottom we've got like bamboo leaves. So
okay, so it's a Dale Kerner party shirt.
Yeah. It's
Real as they go over the specifics of Dale's shirt pattern.
And hey, he's cosplaying. He's cosplaying as a person who goes to Hawaiian parties. Okay.
Hey.
It's relevant.
I'm the one who thinks you can find her jungle.
So if you're in the United States, it's really hot. It's been hot all over the States, and I know this because I work at a news station, and I've seen the map. It's all purple.
It's so hot and humid that you're actually in danger of drowning just from standing outside.
Yeah, I can't, like, if I run my computer and the air conditioning unit, I run the risk of blowing a fuse, like literally a fuse, and then I have to go into the creepy basement at night, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going sans air conditioning right now. We'll see how long that lasts. So if
I'm going sans of Stark.
Dale, I would what?
What?
Hi. I'd be on board with you cosplaying.
See, Kevin's brain had blown a fuse, and he didn't want to go down into the creepy basement.
Yeah. His basement's filled with pizza still.
Let me just insert some pennies into my ear. It's a life hack for you.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say about pizza?
Yeah, so Dale and I, let's see. Let me go back here. A couple weeks ago,
it was a dark and stormy night, much like this one.
Jen
Your mother was downstairs cooking cookies.
Jen had informed me of the pizza place that we go to had a poster on the wall that advertised the Zagantuan, which is a 30-inch pizza, and there was a challenge at the bottom of that where if you and one other person can finish the 30-inch pizza and a 2-liter of soda in 1 hour, you get the pizza for free and the soda for free. You get your names on the wall, and you get like T-shirts. And I was like, I should tell Dale about this, so I texted it to him, and he was immediately like, so we're doing this when? And we were forced to make plans immediately. So when it was going to happen, and that happened yesterday, and oh man, we ate so much pizza.
So you heard about it from Jen. Did she hear about it from like a cursed gypsy?
No, she unless
yeah,
the poster on
the cash register.
She sent me a picture of the poster on the wall.
The picture was also cursed.
Yeah.
Woo, that's good.
No, that's bad.
Woo, that's good.
So yeah, we were going strong at the beginning, and then we wound up
10 pieces.
There were 10 slices left, and we realized that we weren't going to have enough time to finish it, or enough space to finish it. So, oh yeah, Dale's got the poster there. So, there you go. Take our 30 and 60 challenge. If 2 people finish the Zagantuan and a 2-liter of soda in 1 hour, both get a free T-shirt, the pizza and soda for free, and their names on the Wall of Fame. The only rule: both must stay at the table for the hour once it's started.
Yep. You can't throw up like the children before us.
Yeah, there apparently was one other team or one other duo that tried it, and they got like a third of the way into the pizza before they finished.
One of them threw up in the end.
Yeah, our waitress was basically like, yeah, one guy ran to the bathroom and said he couldn't do it, and I don't know if she was exaggerating, but she said he proceeded to vomit. So
Can't hold his draft.
yeah, we demolished like a third of the pizza in what, the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
That
maybe?
was. We were hungry. That thing was gone fast. I mean,
yeah.
once we hit the 45-minute mark, that's when our stomachs was like.
Yeah, it's the weirdest face I've ever seen Dale make from eating pizza. Because usually he's just like, I'm gonna vacuum this up. Oh, there's no more pizza. Oh well.
I feel
And
like
he was just like, I'm like, you okay, Dale? He's like, pizza. So.
Close, very close.
Yeah, it was definitely doable if you're hungry enough and you are.
We just need to train more.
Going to the hyperbolic pizza chamber.
You come out and you weigh 700 pounds.
You're the size
I can do the challenge myself.
You're the size of Majin Buu.
This isn't even my final form.
I don't understand. He turned the pizza into chocolate and ate it. Why didn't he just eat the pizza?
Why did that get better? Why is that easier?
So yeah, it's doable. We might try it again. I don't know. It was a lot of pizza. I still have like kind of like a medium pizza left.
I don't know, 10 pieces? That seems more like a small pizza.
I mean, the standard size is 8, but they cut it into squares, so who knows? I don't understand the crazy thing.
Well, the squares made it a lot easier to get to the pizza and eat it.
It's true.
Because, think about it, if you're doing it in slices, that's a 15-inch slice every time. That wouldn't fit on the plate.
Right.
So this has been Papa Kevin's Pizza Cast.
That's right, Chad!
Alright, next topic.
Next topic. So anyway, what we're going to be doing this upcoming Saturday, so July 30th, is the Bristol Renaissance Fair. That's on the border of Illinois and Wisconsin. We're just doing Dragon Age. There's a group. There will be a link if you get this in time and haven't heard about it.
The first listener who finds me at the Renaissance Fair wins a free T-shirt.
Are you even coming?
No, that's why he's making that offer.
That's why I was like, wait, what? Someone's gonna kidnap you, put you in the Renaissance Fair, and just be like, "Where's my free T-shirt?"
Yeah, that's something Dale's going to do because he's running out of clothes. Look at it. He's running out of clothes. He's like adopted some alternate form of apparel.
Yeah.
That's all open.
That shirt doesn't even close. What kind of weird shit is this?
Yeah, I can't go. Gotta work. Wish I could.
It's fun every year. I mean, it's just a yearly tradition. So yeah,
Hopefully it won't be as godly hot though. If
you're like within driving distance or whatever, you can get there, and you're like, I don't have a costume. Doesn't matter. Just we're gonna be in costume, but
they just put you in the stocks.
Yeah, if you want to come in and hang out, just add yourself to the group, and that's where I'm going to post like where we're at or whatever if anybody's looking for us. So. And
if you don't have a costume, just don't look at Kevin in the eyes.
Yeah, then I get really intimidated.
Just know your place as a lowercase member of society.
Lower caste?
No.
Yes. Lowercase.
Lowercase, like in lowercase L or.
Yeah, like a smaller version.
Yeah.
Sure. And then the week after that, we're going to be going to Gen Con. Now, question for you, Nick. Are you coming with us or not?
I hope I am.
Okay. Did your work time off get approved?
I don't have any time off. That's the thing I'm trying to deal with.
Okay. So you have to switch with somebody?
I either have to switch with somebody or I have to call off, in which case you're going to have to edit this out of this episode.
You have to make a Wookiee life debt with one of your coworkers?
Yeah.
Isn't that when they're married or something?
Yeah, but, you know, it's all on the side, so it's okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't put my work vacation in yet, but I should be okay as long as nothing goes horribly awry this week.
All right, well, I'll be there because I don't work that weekend, so...
Yeah,
we're gonna
hopefully replace that one sentence I said with the technical difficulties sign, and then maybe we'll see what cooks.
we're gonna stay with Jay and Wendy, so we're gonna technically commute every day, but it's It's within striking distance. So we will be there in Dragon Age stuff.
Or
and
be
if Nick
square.
goes, then I don't know. I don't even know if you're bringing in a costume, Nick.
I don't really have any that fit because of pizza.
Okay. It happens.
Actually, funny thing about that, preparing for the pizza challenge, I lost like 4 pounds.
And then gained 8.
And then I only gained 2 from it, so it's working its way.
Yeah, we were discussing starting some weird like diet craze where you prepare for food challenges across the nation, and that's how you lose your weight.
Yeah, I suppose then you at least are
It's
like,
called
well,
the-
I'll get to.
It's called the destroy your body trying to lose weight movement, like any other diet.
Pretty much.
All right, so like moving away from that, San Diego Comic-Con was this weekend, so
And
Nick,
we were all 3 in attendance.
no, none of us were there, but Nick
We're
was
there
actually
right now.
Nick was paying attention to that, so I'm gonna toss to you, Nick, because you've got some news for us.
Dateline, my
NBC.
computer room. Yes, I was paying attention to a lot of the stuff coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, particularly in regards to movie trailers and Hot Toys releases. That's sort of my 2 jams. Probably my favorite thing that I saw come out of there was the trailer for American Gods, which is my favorite book ever made.
It's really good.
It's being adapted. It's really good. It's basically
it's like myths, modern myths and ancient myths.
Yeah,
So
anything
the American
anyone ever
Pantheon?
believed in has existed at one point or another, and it's sort of like a clash between the old gods and the new gods, which the new gods are like media and like technology and stuff like that. And it's being adapted into a series on Stars, and it looks really good. Like, one of the characters I had cast in my head as Ian McShane, and he was actually cast in the show as Ian McShane. So,
He also read the part of Mr. Wednesday in the audiobook, right?
no, it's the guy. The guy just sounds like him. It's not actually him.
Okay.
Which I thought was cool that he sounded like him. I was like,
yeah,
he sounds like him.
they had it in their head then. So
Yeah.
who knows how long this went back? There was a casting choice.
Yeah,
Now,
it was pretty good.
Is Neil Gaiman writing for it, or?
He is writing for it. He's not like the head writer, but he's involved in the writing.
Okay.
It's being made by Brian Fuller, who did the NBC Hannibal show, and he did Dead Like Me and season 1 of Heroes, which people will know as the good season.
The good season, yeah.
But I'm pretty excited about that. That was probably my favorite thing that I saw. Marvel had a lot of good stuff, including a new trailer for Doctor Strange. They did 2 teaser trailers for the new Netflix series, which were Luke Cage and Iron Fist. They did the most teaser trailer of teaser trailers for the Defenders, which is sort of like the Avengers of the Netflix Marvel universe, which is like Daredevil, Jessica Jones. Right, yeah.
Oh, that's what they're calling them, the Defenders?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what they're called.
I was like, I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, the
But
Defenders.
you mentioned them, and I'm like, oh, I've heard of their series, yes, and the characters themselves.
Yeah, the Defenders is a thing from the comics.
So they're making is that going to Netflix too? Or
Yeah,
is
it's
that
gonna
an
be
actual movie?
No, it's going to be a season. It's like a crossover season between the 4 of them.
Cool.
They had some more trailers. I guess they showed footage from Spider-Man Homecoming, and they sort of teased that the Vulture is going to be in it.
Okay.
And he's a character that, like, he can reverse engineer anything just by looking at it. So I think it's going to be something where he's trying to rip off the Iron Man suits or something like that.
Okay.
And then they showed footage from Guardians 2, which they haven't said much about what it was, except that Kurt Russell's in it, which everybody likes Kurt Russell.
And the speculation was that he's Star-Lord's dad?
Yeah, that's what the word on the street is.
Okay.
And I'm not big into DC, but they showed the Wonder Woman trailer, which actually looked pretty good.
I really like their poster that they made. It looks really good.
Like, I don't know any. It's mostly I just don't know anything about DC because I never followed it. But like, it looked like it was taking place during World War One.
Okay.
Which is
You're
pretty
sure
unique.
Not World War II?
It looked like World War One because it had like biplanes and stuff.
Well, I mean,
I think they had biplanes in early World War II.
yeah, they
but
did.
I'm not sure.
It wasn't. It changed pretty fast. The reason I would assume World War II is because that's where Wonder Woman meets the agent guy. I think it's not Agent Carter. I forget, but she falls in love with him, kind of.
That seems legit because there was a dude. I think it was Chris Pine.
Were there trenches or were there not trenches?
Well, I only watched it once.
That will determine it.
It was one of the World Wars, possibly two. I thought it looked like one, but
Okay.
I mean, Dale would know more based on the character. Like he would know more than
that's what
me.
it was.
Okay.
It was who?
Yeah, that was who Chris
Steve
Pine
Trevor.
was.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have different ones. I mean, sometimes he's been modern day, but the big thing was always he was a World War II special agent for, I believe, England or whatever. So that's what I'm assuming.
Was this? I'm trying to think because traditionally, a lot of comic books came out around the era, like the World War II era. That's when like superheroes started being a thing, not World War One. So, if I had to guess, like if that went all the way back to original Wonder Woman, then that's probably the case that it was World War II. But if it was somebody like more modern writing a World War II story, or an older story, a throwback story, then it may be either. But do you get what I'm saying? Where it's like, is it original or is it more of a modern take on the old school thing? Does that make any sense?
No.
Okay. Like, when it was originally written, the whole like World War II thing, was it at the time of World War II and like
I see
writing?
what you're saying.
Yeah, because if it's somebody modern day, like I'm just gonna write a story about a war, then it could be either. But if it was around the time of World War II that it was written, then it was World War II. It wasn't World War I. I'm guessing.
Okay, it says I just found an article. It says World War I setting. The movie will be set in 1916.
Oh well, there you go.
So I guess they.
Yeah, those are World War I planes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So what Nick is saying is, well, guys, I was right again.
Which is, all right.
Marvel.
I mean, maybe they did it in the Silver Age comics or whatever, but I mean, the thing I know of is her meeting him in World War II, kind of a thing.
Yeah, see, which I don't know. I just thought the planes in the trailer looked like World War I.
They are World War I. I saw what you were talking about. Definitely World War I. Because it didn't even have a canopy for the pilot. It's just, and they had the simple machine gun on the front, right above where the pilot was.
Yeah, so I thought that trailer looked pretty good. I watched. They had like a short Justice League trailer, which I didn't think looked good.
Okay.
Are
they going to put out the Justice League movie and then go back to, well, they got the Flash, they have Aquaman and Cyborg? Because they basically like teased those three.
They were in the
Batman
trailer.
versus Superman. Okay.
The Flash seemed kind of weird in the trailer. Like, I don't know much about him either. Like, I don't have any background on any of this. But
no,
he seemed.
There was one point where I was talking with Jen. We were on our way to some superhero movie, and we were trying to think of one Flash villain that was not Reverse Flash.
The
Reverse Flash was
Boomerang Man.
the only one. Yeah, Boomerang was one that we eventually came up with, I think.
Isn't he in Suicide Squad?
Yeah,
Boomerang, yeah.
he should be. I haven't.
Captain
He had his own Freeze villain too, but it was like Dr. Freeze or some stupid thing like that. He had
instead of Mr. Freeze.
Exactly. He's got his PhD, motherfuckers.
Mr. Freeze's uncle.
The more
Uncle
successful
Freeze.
Freeze.
Uncle Freeze. So the Flash.
Freezy Pop.
Yeah, Freeze Pop and the Flash.
They just call him Dad.
The guy from Teen Titans was there.
Cyborg, yeah.
And I don't get Aquaman.
That's what it was. He's a captain. So.
Oh, he's Captain Uncle
Captain
Freeze.
Yeah.
Captain Freeze.
Oh, it's Captain. So it's Captain Freeze and Captain Boomerang. So only captains can fight the Flash.
Captain.
Listen,
You have a
you're
ship.
gonna put up with this goddamn lieutenant shit,
You
alright?
can't fight Flash unless you got a ship.
Did some DC fan listening to this just pulling their hair out?
Yeah, what, the one viewer we got the email from? Yeah, that's the only one listening.
Turns out he was super into DC. And it's just like, what are you talking about?
Got excited when we started talking about villains.
Yeah.
We'll get back to the email later.
So I didn't think the Justice League trailer looked good. I don't like Jason Momoa as an actor, and I don't really like Aquaman, and he's Aquaman. So
I do like the rebranded one where he's got like the hook and they gave him a beard. I don't know. I like that one better than the original Aquaman personally.
I just feel like,
but I still don't like Aquaman that much.
Yeah.
But they did make him more likable than he was before.
I think they should have randomly had him be exactly like he was like in the 60s, and like they had like all this dark other stuff, like dark broody Ben Affleck Batman and like dark Superman, and then like Aquaman, he's like a cartoon and he's like, come here, Aqualad.
But if they did that, people would be like, oh, he's just trying to be like Captain America. Goody two shoes.
No, I mean like they should have made him an actual cartoon from the 60s.
Oh, that uh-huh. Besides, they needed their beefcake anyways.
Yeah, I don't dispute that they went the way that they needed to go.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And I do think Ben Affleck still looks cool as Batman.
He does. I honestly and admittedly was with everybody else at first, where it was like, no, not Ben Affleck, anybody but him. And then I actually did see the movie. I'm like, he looks cool as Batman, but I don't know.
I have to go see that movie still.
You might like it.
No,
it'll be fun. It's like a good Dragon Ball Z movie, Dale.
Mm-hmm. If shit get beat up and people blown up, I'll be there.
Yep.
I'll be there.
So, was there anything that you saw that wasn't superheroes, Nick? Or were there more things you wanted to talk about? Or series-wise?
American Gods. There was this show. I don't know what it's called. I forget what it's called. There's something about like dreams that looked interesting. Like probably like in some way a knockoff of Inception, but that looked really interesting.
Okay.
It could be one of those things where like they made it look good, but it'll end up sucking though. What else did I see? I didn't see. Oh, for people that watch Star Wars Rebels, they had a trailer for Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels, which, when they got rid of the extended universe, as so they could clean up their canon timeline, really, there's only been a couple things that I was like, oh, I hope they sort of do something with this still. And one of those things was Grand Admiral Thrawn, who is like one of the greatest extended universe characters.
Okay.
So they're pulling him from the nothing universe of extended universe and putting him in, and he was in the trailer for Rebels Season 3.
Cool.
So I saw that and I was like, what? So that was pretty exciting because Rebels is really good.
That's a series I need to get into because everybody is like talking about it, mainly because a lot of the friends I have on Twitter follow Steve Bloom, and he's a voice in it.
Yeah, he's
Steve
cool.
will retweet a lot of stuff regarding Rebels.
Rebels,
so
Clone Wars is
his character. He's really proud of his character in that, I think. So
he's a good character. His name is Zeb.
Is that on Netflix?
It's not on Netflix. Clone Wars is, and you should see Clone Wars, at least the last couple seasons of Clone Wars before Rebels.
I saw something of Clone Wars. I had like a DVD way back when I was still in like a freshman in college.
Mm-hmm. Clone Wars is good, but Rebels, like Ahsoka Tano is like the main character of Clone Wars, and she's in Rebels, and she's really cool. So if you went into Rebels without caring who Ahsoka was, it wouldn't be as good.
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes with Jen too, so
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the character. She's a Twi'lek.
She's a Togruta.
Oh,
So-
sorry. They
Different
look like
route.
Twi'leks.
Different kind of a route.
My
Same
bad.
system.
Okay, so that's why they have the dual tentacles.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm
But
sorry.
yeah,
She's not an
good.
Asari. Get it right.
No, that's not even the right series, Kevin. That's pretty much my main takeaways from Comic-Con, other than Hot Toys stuff, which they revealed some really cool Star Wars ones, which was like...
Nick's not biased at all.
What do you
Everybody
mean?
looks behind him.
Oh, yeah. Well, I never said I wasn't biased.
Yeah, did you get any new Hot Toys recently, Nick?
Oh,
That's me like making a segue there.
Ooh.
That's
Got my
pretty
Ultron.
shiny.
He's so
Man.
big.
I love the T-1000.
His name is Todd.
He lights up, right?
He does, but that's a tremendous amount of work, which
Oh,
includes
sure.
popping panels off.
We don't want to watch what you do to Ultron to make him go.
I love Hot Toys. They are terrible at setting up their lights for their characters. Like the ones for Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's like a thing that you have to unscrew to put the batteries in. The on-off switch is in there too. Like what? I'm gonna unscrew it and take it apart and turn it on and screw it back together every time.
Weird.
The only one that's like accessible for Ultron is there's a light on the stand, which has a switch. So he's got a pretty cool stand.
Gotcha.
But he's so tall. It's cool. They released some cool pictures. So they're doing a Daredevil one, which I'm excited about because they really didn't, and they haven't done anything from any of the TV stuff before. So now they're doing that. They had old Luke from the end of Force Awakens. That was cool. I'll probably get that. And they had a lot of Suicide Squad stuff. And I was going to ask Dale, because he knows more about DC than me. There's a guy, they had the Joker, and then he had like two cronies. And one guy just had an eyeball, like a eyeball on his head, and then the other guy just had like it was like a dead mouse head without the ears, and like this big grin. I was going to ask if that rang any bells, because I was like, what is this?
And I'm trying to remember what the other one. I'm trying to remember what.
Let me pull up a picture of the Hot Toys display, so I can show you. They also had a bunch of vehicles from Star Wars, like they did like Rey's speeder and stuff. Which sometimes they show these things, and then I don't know if they're just for display, because they had a TIE Interceptor too, like a 6-scale one, which is ginormous.
Okay. Wow.
But I don't know if that'll be a thing that they...
Yeah, you mount a spring on the bottom, and then your toddler can jump on it and be like, I'm gonna blast you, rebels.
Alright, Dale.
Oh!
This is the thing, so...
Okay. Yeah, the eyeball one was always a really weird one. You even do see a reference to him in the Arkham games. He doesn't... I mean, for me, he doesn't come up that much, but...
Does it literally say Eyeball Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it says Mr. Grin for the other guy.
Okay. Honestly, Mr. Grimm I don't know as much.
Mr. Grimm or Mr. Grin?
Grin, Grin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then they also... Everyone got kind of mad because this top one here is kind of looks like a spoiler. Because it appears to be the Joker wearing a Batman suit.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And then...
I don't know if it's gonna really be a spoiler. I don't know what really they plan on doing.
Hide that message. It's a spoiler for this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
It's too late. They can pause it and go back.
Yeah, this was the other one that I was looking at, the Resistance Rey and Luke from the end of the movie.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of the Luke. It looked really good.
I kind of want to do that cosplay at some point. I don't think I can do a beard that fierce though. Here's the
No.
Daredevil one. I really want
hook
to get that one.
We can hook you up with a good beard and attach it with spirit gum and stuff.
There you go.
Okay.
And you got like
the
flowy
Harley
robes.
Quinn. One of the things I like is when they shy away from doing like a really like, what's the word? Safe face sculpt.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but this one, like, her mouth is open and she's like all crazy. So I thought this one was really cool.
Actually, that one is pretty good.
Yeah.
That one's really lifelike.
Yeah, there was. I think I got an email from Sideshow and they like threw that as the promotional image and it was like zoomed in really well. And I was like, is that a picture from the movie? Because it was
a lot
so
of times, one of my favorite things that happens is like,
I was looking at my phone for the record.
oh, those posts from around the web thing, they'll have like, it'll be like a link to some news article about a Marvel movie or like Star Wars, and it'll have a picture of the Hot Toys, and they don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, I know what this picture is.
And the sculptor's like, yeah, I did a good job.
Yep. So that was my takeaways from San Diego.
There was I saw somebody retweet some Ghostbusters figures on Twitter, and Dale, I sent those to you. Those looked really good.
Those look
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome too.
It's the original cast, and then there's the Ecto one that they haven't. They've teased it, but they haven't shown any images for it.
We also had Gozer, Zool, and what's the other one? Vince Clortho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see those, but I was like, I got the information. I was like, I'm just gonna pass this on to Dale. Dale, if you want to invest in any figures, I know you like have an interest in these.
Right.
I don't really room for right now, but maybe in the
make
future.
room on the shelves behind you. You got like box games still there.
Of course. What? I'm not gonna get rid of them.
I got rid of all mine, except for I think Hellgate London. Maybe I even got rid of that box. I don't know.
I don't have any.
For those boxes, those are mine.
Yeah, I remember back when I had like all of my physical copies of games, and I remember listening to the Rooster Teeth podcast, and Bernie was like, "And like 2 years, everybody's gonna be digital. Nobody's gonna have physical media." I'm like, I'm gonna keep having the physical media, and then a year later, I was like, this like digital media is kind of nice because I can free up space, and now like everything's digital. I just buy everything through Steam and stuff.
Yeah, I was
just so easy.
I was super into being digital as fast as possible for games. People kept being like, "Well, what if it disappears in 10 years?" I'm like, I'm gonna play a 10-year-old game in the first place. I will play 30-year-old games if someone brings me a Super Nintendo, but like, I'm not gonna play some PlayStation 1 game. The graphics would be so bad I wouldn't be able to see it.
And on the other end of that spectrum with music, you're like, give me vinyl. I want more media.
Yes, that I am.
Yeah. So, do you ever think they're going to put games on vinyl? The answer is no.
Probably not. No.
I mean, it's similar to like all that stuff.
I just thumbed through a couple of them, and they're all records, no games.
So, trying to think of what else did you have anything else from San Diego Comic-Con?
That was pretty much it.
Okay, because like the only stuff I've seen from it really is just friends who are cosplaying. Like Bill Duran completed his Mechanist costume, which I picked up the Mechanist DLC for Fallout 4 on the Steam summer sale and played through that recently, and that was a lot of fun. I liked that DLC. So you can build robot companions and stuff like that. So
I don't think I saw his completed costume. I'm gonna have to go and look.
Costume. I will pull it up now. Dale, did you see anything from Comic-Con?
Nah.
Meh.
Yeah.
Thank you for spacing out the time for me. So
Yeah, I helped.
Well, Dale, as far as what I would say for things that you should check out is you should definitely check out the Wonder Woman trailer.
I will after that. I watched a little bit of it to try to find the planes that you showed were talked about.
Yeah, that seemed cool.
Yeah. That'll be kind of interesting how they do that.
Okay, let me share this picture. This is like the only one I can really find that's on his Facebook page, like his Punish Props page. Screen share. That. So that's his wife Brittany on the left. I don't know who the Nick Valentine is, but I mean that's a really good Nick Valentine.
Yeah.
And then he's got his Mechanist costume in the middle, and then that's Todd and Crystal Graziano on the two right-hand side people. So as she's like a Vault Dweller, and I don't know if Todd's anyone specific, but he's in his power armor. So Todd and Crystal are awesome. I really like their costumes, and Bill as well, and Brittany. So. And like I said, I don't know who the Nick Valentine is, but they're a pretty awesome group. So they were traipsing around San Diego.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
I did enjoy Jessica Negri's Roadhog costume.
Yeah. What did you tell me earlier? It was like the only costume she's done where she put on more clothes than the actual character.
Yeah. She's like, because you said, is it a sexy Roadhog? And I said, well, technically she's wearing more clothes than Roadhog.
And didn't somebody else interject? Roadhogger is always sexy.
That was also me. Yes, I also made that. I said any Roadhog cosplay is a sexy cosplay.
Yeah.
But I really like that she picked him to make a cosplay of. I just think that's really funny.
Yeah, considering there's a lot of like attractive girl characters in that game.
Yeah, I just like that she.
I think that this is probably the easiest out of all of them to make, though.
It's the least amount of clothing of all the characters, I think.
Well, she didn't have the gun, so that made it.
She had the hook.
Yeah,
so,
she only had the hook.
But she did have to make that weird pig nose breather thing.
Well, she had the thing, but she stopped it at like here, so it was like a half mask instead of a full mask.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I guess it still qualifies as a mask if it only goes up to here.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's about all that happened that I can think of at San Diego Comic-Con. So do we want to get to that email?
Oh, there was one more thing.
Okay.
If you remember, probably a few podcasts ago, I had talked about the Mystery Science Theater 3000 Kickstarter.
Yes.
Where they kickstarted a season 11, essentially. At their panel, I guess, Joel announced that because of the record-breaking Kickstarter that we all were a part of, they gained a lot of attention, and Netflix actually picked them up to do future seasons.
So they're going to be on Netflix.
So they're going to be on
awesome.
Netflix. Yeah.
I approve of this.
Yep, and I also get to be in the credits of one of the episodes for being a Kickstarter contributor.
Swanky.
So well, that's pretty cool.
Pat yourself on the back if that's what you're getting at. Gosh. So,
yeah. 90s Nick would be very, very pleased that future Nick ended up in the credits of a Mystery Science Theater episode.
Good job. So, if there's nothing else, I can get to this email that we got.
Yes.
No? Dale, did you have something to interject?
No. I'm just...
Okay. So we got an email today from Megan who says, I love your podcast. Thank you so much for your time and great reviews. One question. Who is each of your favorite villains and clients? And we couldn't like pin down exactly what she meant by clients, but I mean we could definitely take care of villains.
I think we'll take care of villains, and then we'll also do our own interpretation of what our dumb brains think clients meant.
So, does anyone want to start us off?
Kevin, you have to start us off.
I have to start you guys off?
Yes, because I'm still deciding.
Sure, why not?
I actually haven't contributed such thoughts.
Oh my god, I knew this was going to happen. He always does this. He always poses a question because he hopes one of us will answer it.
I thought of one.
You thought of one?
Well, I have mine. This is just a fun train wreck to watch.
My brain is just going straight to like video game villains.
It never said what you
I know it doesn't, but that's just where my brain's defaulting. So I'm like, all right, go.
My favorite villain is Lorne Malvo from season 1 of Fargo. And
I have no idea what any of those words are.
Nick, keep in mind, don't spoil it for me.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay.
He's played by Billy Bob Thornton. He's really smart, but he's also, like, just crazy. So he's kind of fun. But, like, I like a smart villain. I like them when they're also sort of right sometimes. So another villain that I would like would be... I don't know. This is a hard question because I like so many villains.
Mm-hmm.
Villains that I think were done well were Lauren Malvo from season 1 of Fargo. I like Loki because he's
low-key.
Yeah, he's low-key, so I like that. But I like him because he's just kind of confused a lot of the time. Like, he's not, like... There's this conversation that they have, that Thor and Loki have in Avengers, and it continues on into Thor the Dark World, where Loki just doesn't understand why Thor even cares about Earth. He's just like, they're just made to be ruled, and he's like, you just don't get it. So I kind of like that. And then, as far as if we're going by design on what they look like, I think my favorite villain would be Yellow Jacket from Ant-Man because I like his suit the best. Like of all the design in the Marvel movies or anything like that, I like his suit. So those are my 3 concessions.
Okay. Dale, you're just loving this that I can't think of a villain, aren't you? Do you wanna take over?
Well, okay. So if I really had to pick my favorite villain, I would have to probably say Doctor Doom.
And, that's such a good one.
And the reason is because he's bad for a reason. They're all bad for a reason. But like he thinks he's doing better, and there's one issue, whatever you want to call it, where he gets to see into the future, and all possible outcomes result in the end of humanity unless he's in charge. But it's stated that he can't see all outcomes, but he could from all the ones he could see. So that's his thing. He's trying to save humanity, and the only way he knows how to is if he rolls them all.
Stop fighting me, it's for your own good. So he's like an angry father.
Uh-huh.
That's why you like him.
Not to mention he's got a lot... He's pretty powerful, too, kind of a thing. It's not one of those things where, like, oh, well, they just outsmarted him, and that's what caused them to win. I mean, he's smart and he's powerful. Now, on the other spectrum, another villain I really like is Harley Quinn, and that's just because that was my first, like, cartoon crush as a child.
Okay. Because she's laugh.
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
Oh, well played.
Do you want to elaborate, Dale?
No, I thought you did. You're doing pretty good. Why don't you keep going with mine?
What? No, that's okay.
I said she was my first cartoon crush, so it was the first villain that actually made to seem human-ish. I mean, before that, because it was the Batman animated series that I saw it. So I mean, before that, you had the Joker, you had the Penguin, you had like Croc, and Croc was just an idiot. The Penguin was just he had umbrellas for weapons. That was his big plan. I mean, and the Joker was just kind of crazy. I mean, of course, he had like Poison Ivy and Bane and everything, but the whole time I'm thinking like, oh, someone just snips his wires. Bane's no longer a problem anymore. Bring scissors next time, Batman.
Dr. Vasectomy, you're on duty.
So
I think he just means literally snip the wires in the back. No, it's the metaphorical one.
If he doesn't have kids, I win through the future.
All right. So those two.
Well,
For
I
one-
mean, I have other villains I like.
Yeah, me too.
Are we doing like the trifecta? Because that's gonna make it even worse for me.
So, what would be the trifecta then?
Nick was talking about design, like your favorite villain design.
Favorite design? I have to actually think about that one.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of good villain designs out there, but if you want, I can throw one out there that I kind of appreciate. And it's a weird thing because I didn't like him at first, but then I read some supplemental stuff, and then I was like, okay, I don't hate this guy as much as I did. That's Logain from Dragon Age Origins.
Oh my god!
Like, at first you're like, yeah, you're kind of a dick, dude. But
he still is a dick.
I know he thinks he's doing good though. I like complicated villains that think they're in the right.
Not
and I
complicated. He's just a moron.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but he has his reasons for doing it.
That doesn't make it good.
Okay, Dale, do you want to talk more, or can I talk?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, and then I wound up reading The Stolen Throne by David Gator, who is the writer for Dragon Age Origins, and it kind of followed it followed Logain as a character, and you kind of see what he was, and then there's this conflict that fleshed him out as a character, and then you see the way or the reason that he is kind of, I guess, racist in a way, or maybe not racist, but
nationalist.
he doesn't like. Yeah, he doesn't like.
Is xenophobic. I probably.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. He doesn't like Orlesians because there was an Orlesian occupation, and it's basically like this other force came in to take.
I don't know.
He had to live under their rule, and then they rebelled, and he became like a war hero, and then it started to fall back into what that was, and he fought against it because he saw a certain way things were going, and he thought of himself as a hero, even though you play the role of one of the Grey Wardens that kind of gets the shaft because of his actions, and then you kind of go in to fight him, and yeah, it's like if you understand the full story, it's like you got kind of a tragic story, and that's cool. So I liked that character for that reason in the long run. But again, I kind of had your opinion at first, Dale, where it was just like, you're just kind of a jerk, man. And
what big character doesn't have a tragic backstory?
What do you mean?
You said he has a tragic backstory, and I'm like, in Dragon Age, what character doesn't have a tragic backstory?
Like, there are tons of characters out there that don't have tragic backstories, and they're just like, haha, I'm evil, and that's like kind of a one-note villain.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like, I'm just saying, pretty much all of them have a tragic backstory kind of thing.
And I mean, yeah, but I know the writers wanted to write every main character be it like a protagonist or antagonist as like an important thing that has their own calling, so to speak. No pun intended, Dragon Age fans. Where they're brought to light, and and you interact with them in a certain way because they've had these stories that make them heroes in their own right. So I don't know. It's I got some appreciation out of them because of that book. So if you are a Dragon Age fan and you haven't read The Stolen Throne, I'd recommend it for that reason. Trying to think of design-wise, like a cool antagonist. Are we talking antagonists or villains? Because there's like a difference.
Those aren't mutually exclusive.
They're not mutually exclusive, but they're not synonymous. They are a lot of the time, because you typically follow the guy with the good morals and who's like, I'm a good guy. I don't know. Like, my brain's going to a lot of like, there's this fly that's bugging me, and I think I got it.
Good pun.
Yeah, that was a pun. My brain's going to like a lot of like superhero rebooted designs and stuff like that.
Okay, so if I had to choose a good villain design, I would have to go with the Reapers before Mass Effect 3.
Ooh, yeah.
Because they have a purpose, and they figured out the most efficient way to do it, kind of a thing.
Okay.
And they look pretty terrifying if you were someone living on a planet, and all of a sudden the squid space creature landed and started shitting out demonic versions of your own species.
That's fair. Man, I know there's one out there that's like, oh man, that design's super cool, and all I can think of is like entire factions. Because you mentioned Mass Effect, and I'm like, I was thinking of Cerberus because I like the suit designs and all that stuff. But it's just like that's not a bad guy; it's a bad faction.
No, they're a bad guy in the first one and most of the second.
I know, but it's just like I'm thinking like bad guy means like or girl means like one character, not like a whole order. But I mean, you mentioned the Reapers, so I guess.
Well, I mean, what else?
They're individual Reapers.
Yeah, there are like Sovereign.
No, okay, Dill, you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z. Why didn't you bring up Vegeta? Because he's a bad guy at first.
He's what you consider the antagonist, though.
Right, exactly. And that's why you were talking about mutually exclusive, and I looked over your shoulder, and I'm like, he's got a Vegeta pop figure on there. Why hasn't he talked about Vegeta?
I said they're not mutually exclusive.
Right, I understand.
Okay.
So
but he's a villain in the first meetup kind of thing, and he's the anti-hero kind of thing.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, if we're going anti-heroes, then I have to probably pick Frank Castle.
I was gonna think that too, kind of a thing, because I mean, he's there to do a job. He's basically the anti-Batman, but still good. Because I mean, he's like, well, if I kill them, they can't kill anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And there's the quote is like, if you kill a killer, the number of killers remain the same. And then right below it, I forget where I saw it. Is like, not if you kill more than one.
It goes down by like a bunch.
Good. All right. Well, is that sufficient? I know you guys listed 3, and I only listed like 2.
All right. What's your favorite client?
Second one?
Who's your favorite client, Kevin?
My favorite client?
Mm-hmm.
Windows client operating system. That's a client, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Otherwise, Steam? That's my favorite video game client. I play
How
on
many
PC.
others are there, really?
Xbox Live. I like that one. Battle.net. I like Battle.net a lot lately.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Overwatch. We didn't mention Overwatch at all, except for that one
Segway.
time we did with Jessica Negri cosplaying. Yeah.
Really
Did we want to throw out our battle tags?
Yeah.
you can put them on there at the end.
Yeah, I'll add it to our little things at the end. So
See?
yeah,
It makes it easier.
if you play Overwatch on PC then
Or
you can
Mac.
play with us.
No.
You're gonna want to play with me. I made Mercy.
Yeah, Nick takes up the support role, although that's become less of an issue with the recent patch because they added Anna.
Yeah,
who's the support
but
sniper.
But I don't suddenly change characters without telling anyone.
That's true.
Yeah.
I tend to keep an eye on the hero list, and when I see a Junkrat opening and I'm getting frustrated with the character I'm playing, I switch to Junkrat. So I just like to blow stuff up sometimes.
see, I really think they should add another class division or whatever. It should be separated from support and healing.
So you want dedicated healers? Because Symmetra is not technically a healer.
Right. Symmetra's not a healer, and I mean, to some extent, a little bit of Anna because she can't heal as much as Lucio or Mercy, kind of a thing.
She does heal, though.
She does. Yes, she does. I'm not saying she doesn't.
Well, I'll just keep playing Mercy and healing you guys.
They did buff Zenyatta, so he seems to be a lot better now.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll eventually get the Rapid Discord achievement. Have you guys looked into that?
Yeah, it is. I don't know how you'd really ever get that.
By accident. And a
Yeah.
lot of luck.
I haven't really been looking at the achievements. It would be nice if they added some more characters of like the other classes too, because they added Anna, which is fine.
They have 2 others planned that they've kind of been hinting towards, kind of a thing. Like, for instance, they've been hinting towards Doomfist.
Doomfist.
Fly wants to punch people.
I'm so excited because I want to punch a skyscraper down.
You're not going to have his glove, though.
I want to punch a man.
No.
I want to punch a man with another man.
It'll probably be his ult.
It could be. And then I forget what the other one was too, but I think it's basically a spy.
You're thinking of Sombra.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there'll be some manner of sneaking around with her, I imagine, because in Spanish, Sombra means shadow, I believe. So, the shadow knows.
Sleepy Shadow.
It's not Sleepy Shadow, just Shadow.
Sleepy boy.
Yeah. So, but with the most recent patch, some people I think looked into like the code and they found a bunch of individual wave files regarding like where did you go and all that stuff and Sombra. So people are like, she's probably a sneaky character. They also found a bunch of references to German castles. So I think we're gonna get to see like Reinhardt's somewhere in Germany. He's from Stuttgart, I believe, which is a place. Yeah, it's like in the Black Forest region. So we might see some medieval style stuff. I'm excited for that. It'll be a pretty cool setup. And we might actually be able to run around in a forest. Who knows?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So that might be exciting.
It'll be fun to be killed by Hanzos there.
Oh yeah. Or Genji's running up trees.
Like Twilight vampires.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we done with the client thing, or are we thinking maybe that means heroes?
We can branch off and say what your favorite hero is. I feel like we did talk about that, but but if you got an idea, do you want to start with somebody?
No, you should go first, Fly.
Okay.
I have mine already.
Okay. I mean, I'm kind of biased. I don't know if he's like my favorite though, but I mean, like I like Alistair because he starts from like nothing
that's not
and then
what you've told me before. You said
yeah, there's also
Alistair.
Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3, but like I don't know, he has an evolution too. I like characters that develop, and that's a lot of characters, especially recently.
Yeah.
Like
when they evolved, I mean, Alistair becomes Al Monster.
Yeah, if you apply a Grey Warden Stone, then he becomes Grey Warden Alistair, and if you apply a King Stone, he becomes King Alistair.
You know, I've been running around in Pokemon Go for like 2 weeks, and I still haven't found an Alistair.
Yeah. You gotta go to...
But the good thing about Snake...
You gotta go to Edmonton for that one.
Snake's a ground type, so, I mean, just gotta worry about the birds.
Yeah, he's an Ekans or an Arbok, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? When we were talking about like favorite villains, another one I can say is probably Ocelot, because he seems to be playing everybody all the time, and that's always an interesting angle. He keeps it fresh, like especially in Metal Gear Solid 3. I really liked Ocelot because he's like a weird character at first, and then you get like the little epilogue at the end, and you're like, oh, what? So
I killed him the first time I saw him.
Okay.
In 3.
And then you got Fission mailed.
I got Fission mailed.
No, you got a time paradox.
Yeah, I got a time paradox. I was like, "Fuck you, game."
I was making a reference to Metal Gear Solid 2 with that one.
Oh, okay.
But I would favorite heroes. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna say Alistair because there's a lot of different ways you can. It's a very divisive character for. There's a lot of people who hate him, like outright. There are a lot of people who are like, he's forgettable. There are other people who are like, he should be king. There are other people who are like, he should stay a Grey Warden. A bunch of different ways he could go. Other people are like, he should be a drunk in a bar. So, you know, those branching paths and all that stuff.
How about you, Dale?
For hero, I would have to say Jim Raynor.
Any reason why?
Well, because, I mean, he basically builds everything up from, nothing. Like, he puts together his own force and basically ends up saving, I guess, the galaxy or universe, depending on how you want to look at it, at the end of the final, StarCraft games. And not to mention, he's also doing it because he hates the Emperor Minx and wants his girl back, too.
Yep.
Even though in the end, I won't spoil it, but It's pretty easy to see what's coming.
Okay, if you're Dale.
Fine.
You overthink a lot of storylines, Dale. You're like, I saw that coming. And
Well,
Nick and I turn our brains off. We're like, oh, cool.
I want to try to figure out what's going on.
You know, no, I understand. I don't blame you. What?
Uh-oh. They found him.
The submarines, they're coming. He also has the advantage of having a cool voice.
Yeah, it's true, too.
Because Jim Raynor sounds neat. He reminds me of McCree.
Me too.
He does. Nick, do you have any favorite heroes?
Hellboy for sure. Probably top.
Hellboy's a villain.
He's not.
He's misunderstood.
He just does his job of fighting monsters like it's a job like he was the plumber, which I like. He's just like, all right, I guess I'll go fight this thing. I like him because I like heroes that are sort of fighting their nature. So I like Hellboy because he's supposed to be this end of the world monster and he doesn't wanna.
I can actually see that in your writing. You've written a couple like comic outlines that are like, oh yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, end of the world.
I get that. Yeah.
And then probably if I had to pick two, my other one would probably be Malcolm Reynolds. Because he sort of just... The thing I like most about him is that he doesn't sort of go along with the way that everyone else thinks things are supposed to be. He just sort of does what he thinks it should be, and I like that.
Nick is a chaotic good kind of guy.
Yes.
Or maybe chaotic neutral at times.
Sometimes.
But if you have a favorite hero or villain that you want to tell us about, feel free to drop it in the comments, or you can send us an email if you got a topic you want us to discuss, like Megan sent us. That was super cool of you, by the way. Thank you very much for that.
Let's hope we actually answered her question.
Multiple ways. But yeah, if you got something you want to talk to us about, or if you just want to drop us a line, it should be down below. Other than that, you can find me off one of the sides. I'm not sure which anymore.
No.
But you can send me a message. My battle tag should be up there for BattleNet as well.
Yeah, I see it.
Drop that in. Yeah. If you squint really hard.
Yeah.
Nick's stuff is somewhere on the screen.
Yep. Here's my stuff. I use Twitter, so tweet me on the Twitterer. I post things on Instagram. You can follow me on there. It's mostly Hot Toys things. And you can add me on BattleNet, and I'll heal you.
I'll heal you. That's his tagline. You need to hand out business cards, Nick, that say I'll heal you.
Yep. Nick, dedicated healer.
Yep, and here's Dale's info, so you can get a hold of him either on Tumblr or Twitter or BattleNet. Play some games, and then he can tell you to switch classes because we don't need two tracers.
Oh my god.
And what's that? You want to play healer? That's fine. I'll practice with Faire. I got two.
Yeah. I'll play Roadhog. I'll heal myself.
Yeah, that's the proper way to deal with it. If somebody complains about your class and how you're doing, then you switch to something else and you say, you take over.
Mm-hmm.
And then your team loses, and then you can blame them.
I don't have people not saying, hey, we need a healer. I have people problems with them getting either on the point or just no one picks the actual healer. And I'm like, but whatever. It happens.
These are the fun things you can expect if you game with us.
Yay!
Yep. We're
sorrow and failure.
We lose sometimes, but sometimes we win.
Mm-hmm.
That's true for pretty much any game. Anyway, this has been the Long Con Podcast.
We're sorry you joined us.
Time for more convention cosplay and other facets of geek culture. Nick, why don't you take us out?
Good night, chumps.